In this session, you are about to see the perspective view of a pentagonal prism. The dimensions of the same is being clearly mentioned in the question. The distance from the station points as well as the dimensions towards the right of the axis is also clearly mentioned. The position of the pentagonal prism is told as it is kept with one of its rectangular faces on the ground with one of the pentagonal faces touching the picture plane, which means that the pentagonal prism is resting in such a way that the rectangular faces are on the ground. When the rectangular faces are resting on the ground, it is found that you can see the pentagon only in the front view and you can see the rectangle only in the top view. So, just as in the normal cases, the initial step that you are drawing is to draw the PPP first and then you are drawing the top view. But as in the case of this question, you need to draw the front view first instead of drawing the top view first, just because the prism is resting with its rectangular faces on the ground. So for drawing the pentagon, you have to draw the front view first, and front view is to be drawn in the EGP line. So instead of drawing the PPP line for this particular question, just because of the position of resting of the pentagonal prism, you need to draw the EGP line firstly, and then you need to draw the pentagon with the dimensions that is being given in the question. So it is hereby notified that you need not to simply follow the steps one by one, but instead you need to look over to the position of the object that you are drawing. So initially you need to draw a horizontal line around the top portion of the page, and you have to name it as EGP line, that represents elevation of the ground plane. And with the specified dimensions, you have to complete drawing the pentagon. As the dimension is given as 25, by drawing a horizontal line, you can complete the pentagon. And as it is a prism, you need to mark the corresponding opposite face. The one front face is named as ABCDE. As it is a front view, you need to represent by using dash. And corresponding opposite face is F dash, G dash, H dash, I dash and J dash. And with this, you are completing the front view of the object. After drawing the front view of the object, the next step is to take 15 mm from the base. Okay, usually you are drawing the PPP line and then you are drawing the top view, then taking 15 mm from the top of the top view, and then you are drawing the horizontal line. In the previous problems, you are following this procedure, but in this question, you are drawing the EGP line firstly, and you are completing drawing the front view of the prism, and then you are taking 15 mm below, and then you are drawing a horizontal line, and then as the altitude is given as 40 mm, you have to take 4 cm, and then you have to complete the rectangle. Okay, you have to project from this pentagon's outside edges and you have to complete the rectangle. And as you are doing in the case of orthographic projections, you have to mark the visible edges, okay, which is the one that is not given inside brackets at the bottom face and one that is given in the brackets in the top face. Okay, so correspondingly A, B, C, D and E comes here, and F, G, I, J, H comes here. Okay, so then after drawing the top view as well as front view, the next step is to mark the central plane. In the question, it is stated that central plane is towards the right of the axis of the prism. So from the axis line, you have to take 45 mm and then you have to mark a vertical line and you have to name it as CP, that corresponds to central plane. Then the next step is to mark the top view of the station point. From the PPP line, you have to take 40 mm, as it is stated that station point is 40 mm in front of PPP, and that is named as S. Then you have to mark the front view of the station point, which is given in the question as 45 mm above the ground. So from the ground plane, you have to take 4.5 centimeters, and on the CP line you have to mark the point as S dash. So here you have marked the front view of the station point. Then the horizontal line that you are marking, that you are drawing through the S dash line is named as elevation of the horizon plane. You can name it as EHP line, followed by the next step. Then the next step is to draw the visual rays in the top view. From the point S, you have to draw towards all the endpoints in the top view. You have drawn towards 5 points in the top. You can also draw towards the 5 points in the base. Here I haven't drawn that. I will explain why I haven't drawn it later. Okay. So in the usual cases, you have 10 visual rays in the base. Okay. 10 visual rays, 5 in the top and 5 in the bottom portion. Then next step is to draw the visual rays in the front view. So from the point S dash, you have to draw visual rays towards all the 5 corners of the pentagon. Okay. Then the next step is to mark the intersection point, which is step number 10. We are having 5 intersection points in this question. This is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 and number 5. Okay. So from these intersection points, you have to draw projection lines. Now I will tell why I am not drawing visual rays towards all the base points in this figure. If you are drawing a visual ray from S towards the point A, then I will just let you see. Then if you are having the intersection point at the same point A. So if you are drawing a projection line, then you will get the point that the intersection line with the S dash A is the same point as that of A dash. Okay. So that will be the same case if you are drawing the visual ray from S to B. Okay. If you are drawing visual rays from S to B, then you have to draw vertical line from B so as to reach on S dash B dash. This is S dash B dash line. Okay, this is S dash B dash. So this point B dash will be the same as that capital B. So you can easily mark those points as this will be capital A, this will be capital B, this will be capital C, this will be capital D, and this will be capital E. So that is why we are not drawing the visual rays towards the base points in the top view. Similarly, you have to mark the other points also. You know that this particular point is the intersecting point of SG line with the PPP line. From that point, you have to draw a vertical line that will meet on S dash G dash. This is S dash G dash line. Okay, S dash G dash line. So that will meet on S dash G dash line, and that particular point is named as G. Similarly, in the same method as we have done in the previous problems, you have to complete marking the points I, H, J, G and F. Then you have to join the outside edges firstly. Okay. So we know that these edges are coming already. So you have to mark these edges firstly. From E you have to join J. Okay. Then with the J and I you have to mark the outside edge. From this side, the outside edge is IH. You have to mark I and H. Then towards this side you are having HC. Okay. You are having HC. Okay, then towards this side you will be having BC. Okay, towards this side you will be having AB. So this much are the outside edges of the line. Then you are having the internal points. Okay, so this is ED. You know that this is ED. So you need to check whether ED is visible for the observer. So for the observer, this is the point. ED is this line. This line is clearly visible. So ED is to be drawn. Then DC for the observer who is looking from here. DC is this line. This line is clearly visible. So that is also to be drawn by using thicker lines. Next, you have the point which is G. Okay. From G, you have two different lines towards GF and towards GH. So first you are looking for GF. For an observer who is looking from here, GF, for the observer looking from here, GF is far away and that is not visible. Okay. So GF is to be drawn by using dotted lines. Then GH, for an observer from here, GH is also far away, so GH is also to be drawn by using dotted lines. Then you are having points from F. Okay, FJ and FA. You need to look whether FJ and FA are visible. Okay, FJ is this line. This line is far away for the observer. He cannot see that. So FJ is also joined by using dotted lines. Then you are having FA. FA is this line. For an observer who is looking from here, he can see this edge and this edge. All other edges are not visible. So FA is also to be drawn by using dotted lines. Then the next edge that you are having is BG. This is BG. This is BG line. So for an observer who is looking from here, BG is this line and you cannot see this line. Okay. So BG is also to be drawn by using dotted lines. So that completes the perspective view of a pentagonal prism, and this is how you are marking. Remember that why you have drawn the front view first and why you have drawn the top view second. Okay, so identify the technique involved within this problem and study the method involved in drawing the perspective view of the prism. Thank you.